What's up, you guys? Back again for some more bullshit. Fucking hope everybody had a good holidays. I got to go home for Christmas. Not New Year's, but Christmas. You know, New Year's, I've slept through other New Year's before. It's, yeah, if you get to go out and drink and have a good time on New Year's, great. If not, it's whatever. At least I was home for Christmas, so I was home for like 4 or 5 days, so that was cool. I had to make a list of things I wanted to go over because it's been a while. It's been too long, and I got so many things. I'll try to go over everything and not drag shit out too much. But let me see. Alright, so I'll tell this quick story, I guess. Right before Christmas, like a couple days before Christmas, I delivered a load. I delivered a coil down in San Antonio to the Toyota Tundra factory, and you know, after that, I was like, all right, well, I mean, it's Monday. Christmas isn't until Friday, so I guess I'll just go home and be off for a whole fucking week. You know, I didn't really want to. I just didn't want that big of a pay gap. You know, I didn't need that much fucking time off anyway. But he said, okay, this is what we'll do. He wanted me to go to Houston, deadhead to Houston, pick up a load of pipes, run it up to Dallas, and then T-call it with another driver, which, if anybody doesn't know what that means, you're basically just swapping trailers with another driver. They call them T-calls, right? And then go down to Carthage, where the Louisiana Pacific plywood factory is. It's only like four, maybe 4.5 miles outside of Houston. And then go deliver that, go home, and I'm good. So that worked out. That was fine, you know. Get an extra 2 loads on my check. That was fine. But I had a step deck, right? This company has a mixture of 53 footers and 48 footers, but they have some, maybe 100, maybe 200 step decks floating around out there. And dispatch fucking hates these trailers. And the reason why is they're really old, and they're all steel. They're steel and with wood decks, right? And the problem with them is they're heavy. They're heavier than they're like 1,500 pounds heavier than our 53 footers, you know, and you just can't haul quite as many heavy ass loads. My girlfriend's calling me. I'll call her back. With these, so I go to pick up this load of pipe, right, and it's a 49,500 pound load, and with a step, I know what my weight is. Full of fuel with every trailer. You know, with a 48, I'm 30,500 with full tanks. The 53s, I'm 31.5, and with a step deck, I'm 33,000. So 33,000 pounds plus 49,500 pounds puts me over by like 3,500 pounds or something like that. So I pick up this load, and I didn't know how much it weighed until I got it. And because it's a step deck, they had to load everything on the lower deck. And these are like 48-foot pipes. They're hanging off the back, fucking 5-6 feet. And I couldn't load anything up on top, on the attic of the step deck, right? So that put all the weight out in the back. So not only was I overgrossed by a couple thousand pounds, my trailer axles were way over. And by the time I was able to finally get out of there and fucking scale the load, it was fucking way over. I mean, that's not even the half of it right there. Is when the load details said to show up with dunnage, which is pieces of wood, 4x4s, timber, right? But it didn't say how many. Apparently, you have to have 9 because they stack it 3 tiers, and you have to have all your own dunnage. And I didn't know that you needed fucking 9 of them, so I had to go to Home Depot and fucking buy some and all that. You know, came back and finally got loaded. And, you know, this load was just super, super illegal. Like, it was like 8,000 pounds over on one axle and 4,000 on another. It was fucked up. And I told him, I said, man, this ain't gonna work. This load's way too heavy. She said, well, okay, well, you'll have to take it back and get some of the load taken off. I said, okay. Well, it's gonna have to sit because they're already closed for the day. Went home, came back in the morning, you know, hung out with my girlfriend and stuff. Went and they just unloaded the trailer, and he's like, okay, just take the trailer to this yard and swap with a 53-footer, and that's what I did. Like I said, they fucking hate those step decks. One and the same. They should not have dispatched me on such a fucking heavy load with a heavy trailer. But nonetheless, you know, I went and picked that load up, took it up to this guy and swapped loads, went home, all that shit. You know, and I was home for Christmas, so it was cool. Fucking... Okay, so now I got a 53-footer, right? And I deliver this plywood, and I'm ready to go. I roll out Monday morning. They dispatched me on the same load. Another load of pipes coming out of this pipe mill in Northeast Houston, and it's another 49,500-pound load. 49,500 pounds, that's too much for even a 53-footer, you know, our regular flats. Like, I mean, like I said, the 48-footer, the truck is 30,500 full of fuel. So that's perfect for such a heavy load. You know, I don't understand, like, don't dispatch us on a 49,500 pound load when most of the company hauls 53-footers. I was over on gross by 500 pounds, but I let it slide because I was able to just burn that weight off in fuel, you know? Just burn off 500 pounds of fuel and then just, you know, fill it up. Just, you know, don't fill it up all the way and shit. Do some calculations, you know? That's one of the things you'll learn, I'm sure, like, any experienced truck driver knows, is when it comes to weight like that, you know, for instance, okay, like, there are times, like, if you're smart, you'll do calculations to figure out, like, okay, well, I'm at 80,000 pounds, I'm 79,800 pounds, and I am at 3/4 of a tank, so if I fill the truck up all the way, I could potentially be overweight. So what you would do is, weigh the truck, figure out how much you weigh before you fuel, right? So say I'm at 79,500 pounds. I can only add 500 pounds of fuel, right? Over any more than that, and I'm over gross. Diesel is about, it's a little less than 8 pounds a gallon. I round up to 8 just to be safe. So at 8 pounds a gallon, you'd say, you know, 500 pounds divided by 8 is how many gallons you could put in, you know, without being overweight. And put that in, and, you know, it's smart to do calculations like that, you know. Or say you're overweight like I was, and I had to figure out how far I could go before I burned off enough diesel to be underweight again, right? Okay, so I figure, okay, I'm 500 pounds overweight, so I got to shave off 500 pounds. So if I average my fuel usage at 6 miles per gallon, you know, then I'll burn off, at 8 pounds a gallon, I will have to drive like 500, how many ever miles before I am under, you know, under gross, under 80,000, right? Okay, so I have to go 500 miles before I'm legal again, before I burned off enough diesel, I'm not overweight. Okay, how many weigh stations are within that 500 miles? How many of them are open? Are there any of them under construction? You know, stuff like that. Those are the kinds of things that you gotta look at. You know, it's just, you gotta be smart about it. Don't just fill her up and ride blind. You don't scale a truck and just head off into the distance, because, I mean, they just recently increased the fines for being overweight in Texas. It's like fucking ridiculous. If you're like within 1,000 pounds overweight, it's like $500. 1,000 pounds overweight to 5,000 pounds overweight is like $1,000 fucking dollars, and over that it goes up even higher. It's fucking out there. So it's like you roll in, you're like 150 pounds overweight. That could be a $500 ticket, and the company ain't paying it. So you got to be smart about that shit. Let's see. So I don't know. Okay, so some guy put up some comments. Somebody went through some of my early videos and put up a couple of fucking comments saying this, that, and the other. First of all, I'll be the first one to point out a lot of my early videos are shitty. They're kind of shitty in their composition, and you know, I have a lot more information now. I'm going on fucking 6 months here, so I know a lot more. I've been around here a lot longer now, so you know, I've been able to kind of see how things are here. Now, as far as the guy who burned through a bunch of my videos just so he could fucking, you know, talk shit about him, judge him, whatever. Okay, I've only ever mentioned 3 names in this company, right? And those are guys in orientation, right? Anybody who goes through orientation at Western will know those names. Those guys are still there, as far as I'm concerned. I know Robert is, and I'm pretty sure Mike is, and somebody told me that I think Chris is still there too. Okay, I said good things about those guys. Mike and Chris and Robert, I like those guys. I still do, right? Like I said, Robert can be an asshole, but that's a well-known fact, and I'm sure if he heard that, he would probably agree with me, right? So as far as whoever said, like, well, you know, I'm retired from the trucking side of things, blah, 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 which tells me that my guess, I could be wrong, but my guess is you're a DM for another company. And you watch my videos, and as a DM, you're like, you wouldn't be driving a cab if blah, 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 blah. Like, why? I didn't say anything that was slanderous. Have I ever mentioned my DM's name? No. Or any other employee of this company, like, somebody said, like, who's your DM? I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna. I just you know, I don't really feel like it's necessary. You know, I'm not gonna put it out there in case he ever watches this. Someone from the company ever watches this. I'm not putting it out there like that. You know, if I ever leave this company, I'll tell you who my DM is, but not as long as I work here. And you know, anybody else that I have problems with, you know, I'm not gonna fucking bring up their names, because later on down the road, that shit can come back to bite you sometimes, just depending, you know? I mean, right now, it might not mean shit, but I start talking all kinds of shit about my DM, and, you know, this is all fucked up, and that's all fucked up. It's like, to an extent, you gotta watch what you say about a company that you still fucking work for. You know? So, if I ever quit, I'll say who it is, but until then, you know, whether you work here or not, like, if I bump into you and you're another driver, like, I'll tell you who's my DM, but not over the internet. I'm not gonna go down that fucking road. So, but another thing that guy said, I don't know everything, I can't remember everything he said, but one of the things he said was something to the effect of, oh, I remember two, one of them was, oh god damn it, what was it? In a video I said, when you start a new company, you're gonna have to eat some shit before, you're gonna have to, you know, deal with some bullshit when you first start out at a company, and I fucking stand by that. I do, and it don't matter what company you work for. Not from my fucking experience. Tell me I'm wrong, whatever. But you know, you're the reason trucking companies get away with the things they do. Why? Because like, what, they do stupid shit, yet I still choose to work here. Same as every company I've worked for. You know, I worked at a restaurant for 3 years. Those motherfuckers did all kinds of stupid shit, but I made money and I needed a job, and I wasn't willing to quit over just the stupid shit I had to deal with. You know, I don't just, when something sucks, I don't just fucking quit. It's probably why I'm still here. I've said it before, and I've said it from the very fucking beginning, and I'll say it again. I didn't expect, I didn't expect a rose garden coming here. I expected a paycheck. And it has been that way, and that's why I'm still working here. I'm still getting a fucking check. I'm still making decent fucking money, you know? Hadn't been a rose garden, and I still haven't expected it. As far as, you know, trucking companies getting away with this shit, like I said, you sound like a fucking DM. Maybe your company is some kind of fucking awesome, you know, some other kind of cool, whatever. But, you know, I don't know. You know, I mean, they have jobs. We need jobs. We have bills. We need money. You know, I don't have the fucking time, and I don't have the inclination to keep jumping around to different companies until I find one that sucks my dick just the way I like it. I get a fucking paycheck. I pay my fucking bills. Here I am. I'm working. Okay? Trucking companies get away with the things they do. Like, if it's that bad, then fucking quit. Me, you know what? Like, I'm just saying, like, sometimes I feel like, okay, so a company hired you, and maybe even the company trained you from a rookie. You know, as shitty as a company as they may be, they taught you how to drive a fucking truck. They taught you the trade. They brought you into the industry. And then 2 months later, you think you're some sort of fucking super trucker? Like, I know the industry now, and this company sucks, and, you know, I'm fucking, like, now that you have some experience from this company or another starter company that brought you into the industry, now, like, oh, they fucking suck. And now that I can go work for another company that wouldn't have fucking looked twice at me when I didn't have any experience, now I can go work for them. Hey, and that's kind of the logical progression of how things work. You know, I used to bust tables. You know, I did, like, you know, I'm not busting tables fucking years later, like, man, this really sucks. I did move on with my life, but at the same time, I'm just saying, you know, fucking, you know, the company, like I said, it's a fucking starter company. It's not supposed to be fucking awesome, you know? They get, like, we give you the, listen, we'll take you with no experience, we'll show you the fucking ropes, you stick around for a while and haul some freight for us, and then go do whatever the fuck you want. You know, go work for the best trucking company ever. Fucking Western Express, man, fucking blah, 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 they fucking... Yeah, dude, there's a lot of bullshit you gotta deal with here, but, man, there's a lot of motherfuckers working here that could have not have gotten a job at any respectable company. Not until, at least until they were here for a while. You know? So, and as far as, like, and you shouldn't be working for a company that tells you where to fuel. Like, that doesn't even fucking make sense to me. Like, once again, you sound like you're a DM or some sort of employee for another trucking company that I would assume doesn't give a fuck where you don't care where your driver's fuel or some shit like that. Listen, I fuel where they tell me to fuel because they pay for the fucking fuel. This $120,000 piece of machinery I'm sitting in and driving to earn my money, I don't fucking own it. I don't pay for the fuel. I don't pay for the maintenance. I don't own the fucking trailer, and I don't broker my own fucking loads. If they want to tell me where to fuel, I will fuel wherever they need me to, because they're the ones who pay for the goddamn fucking fuel. All right? And maybe I understand what, listen, like I said, they're, like, trying to get a fuel solution, not always the most efficient. Like I said, if I really need to, I'll fuel wherever is convenient for me. But I will try, at least try as much as I can, to fuel where they want me to, because they spend fucking $30, $40 million a year on fucking fuel. They spend millions of dollars a year on fucking fuel. And they want to keep their goddamn costs down as a fucking business. Makes sense to me. If I owned a trucking company and I had a deal with Pilot Flying J to save 40 cents a gallon or whatever the fuck their discount is, okay, we'll only fuel the Pilot Flying J's. Makes sense. Don't fuel wherever the fuck you want, because, like, honestly, I don't pay for the fuel. I wouldn't give a shit where I fuel. Like, diesel's $1.50 more a gallon at this place. I don't give a fuck. Whatever. I'll just fuel up. I'm not paying for it. I get it. They want to keep their costs down. So I'm just saying, you know, they spend a lot of fucking money on fuel. It's their truck. It's their company. I play by whatever rules fucking whatever. If I'm working for the company, I play by the rules, or, you know, I don't work here. You know, that's just how fucking things are. So I don't know what in the fuck you're talking about. You know, feel free to enlighten me, but let's see here. What else was I gonna go over? No, this company doesn't have Prepass. It's not a big deal to me. I mean, you have to go through the weigh stations when they're open. You know, don't run overweight. Scale your shit if you think it's questionable. I mean, it hasn't bothered me. I've never been pulled in for a fucking inspection, you know, and I've never given them a reason to fucking inspect me, you know. There's a couple key fucking things to keep up on your truck. Other than that, unless you got into an accident, you're speeding, or you fucking ran a stop sign, I don't see any reason for them to fuck with you. Your lights, your mud flaps, your fucking tires, and make sure your airlines aren't dragging around on the catwalk. Make sure they're fucking supported. All the basic visual shit, you know? It's, as long as you're good on that, you're not running overweight, you're fucking fine. You know who they're looking for? They're looking for owner ops with 25-year-old piece of shit fucking trucks. They're falling apart at the fucking seams. Those are the guys they want to inspect, you know? Those guys are ripe for a fucking inspection. You know, the fiberglass, the paint's chipping off, fiberglass is cracked, the lights are fucking just barely hanging on, you know? Those are the guys who get inspected, not some guy cruising through in a company truck with a fucking E-log sticker on the side. They're not gonna find anything. They'd have to work their ass off to find a fucking problem with this truck. You know, not on one of this is a 3-year-old truck. You know, it's regularly maintained. There ain't nothing wrong there. You ain't gonna get inspected unless you have something blatantly fucked up. You know, you're missing a mud flap or something. They're like, okay, I'll go ahead and inspect this guy. As far as not having Prepass, doesn't bother me in the slightest, and it does not you know, most of the weigh stations aren't even open when I pass by them. So, and the ones that are, you just go through, you scale, and you're good. You know, and there ain't nothing to worry about. Just make sure you're not overweight. You know, keep in mind how fucking heavy you are. I'm trying not to make this video run too fucking long. I'm trying to cover all this bullshit. Fucking, I had something else I was gonna say. I might pause the video and see if I could fucking remember it real quick. But to that one guy, I can't remember your name for the life of me right now, but like, you're gonna haul a dry van. I can't tell you a whole lot about the dry van side of this company. I've hauled a couple of dry van loads, but that doesn't mean I know shit about dry van, you know? Dry van and flatbed are two completely different divisions in this company, completely different DMs, different fucking rules. I couldn't tell you a whole lot about it. I really don't know. I hear a lot more bitching from the flatbed side about this company than I do from the dry van side. If that fucking tells you anything. A lot of the dry van drivers here I've talked to haven't had as many problems, I guess you could say. So I don't know if that really helps you at all. But don't fucking work for Swift, bro. I'm gonna do you a favor on that one. Like I said in the comment, anybody didn't read that comment, let's just say this, okay? I think I was at a pilot in Ohio, right? And I haul flatbed, but I taught a Swift driver next to me how to slide his tandems. And because he'd like gotten out of training, was driving around, and he'd been driving for them for like 2-3 months. Didn't know how to slide his tandems. You know, it was like, I mean, or else like he thought he knew, but he didn't really. You know, he pulled the pin, but it wasn't working, and I just said, well, if, you know, grab the trailer brake handle. That's how I slide the tandems. You know, it gives that extra braking power. I don't know, it fucking works for me. But he was like, he didn't know how to position them correctly to balance his weight. And I taught him how to do that, and it was weird, but that's fucking sad. Like, you pull drive in for a living, you don't know how to slide your tandems, you don't know the weight transfer, 400 pounds a pin, and all that silly shit. God damn. You know, just do not go work for that. I mean, they got stickers on the side of the truck next to the fuel cap that says no def. You know, and next to the def cap that says no diesel. I mean, they're idiot. They idiot proof their truck. They got cameras in their trucks from what I hear. stay the fuck away from them. They're just like, they put a monkey behind the wheel over at that fucking company. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Just saying. It's the starter company to end all starter companies. You know what I'm saying? But you think Western Express is bad? Fucking Swift, dude. I don't know about that shit. But let's see. Fucking yeah. Hold on one second. All right. Well, I can't remember what the fuck I was gonna say, but I guess I'll kind of wrap this video up with something I did want to say. Listen, said it before, said it just now. Let me reiterate, okay? Like, when I got to this company, I told the guy who picked me up at the airport, you know, who told me everything you've been told is lies. It's all fucking bullshit. Like, I told him I'm not expecting a rose garden. I'm just expecting a paycheck. You know, like, let me just put it out there as a disclaimer. For anybody who worked here or is planning on working here, currently works here, whatever the fuck, put this out as a disclaimer, okay? This is a starter company. Do not come here if you have experience. If you used to fucking manage a fucking Olive Garden, like, why would you go flip burgers at a fucking McDonald's? What, because you have restaurant experience? It doesn't make any fucking sense, you know? This is a starter company. You are not, they, like, the drivers here don't stay long, and it is set up as such. You know what I'm saying? It has a high turnover, fucking high turnover rate. You know, it's like a restaurant. You know, it's a lot of people coming and going, and I don't know. You know, they're just, you know, it's almost like, really, they should just have a simple agreement. Like, look, you just drive for us. We'll give you freight. We'll pay you for hauling the freight. That's about it. Ain't a whole lot of fucking perks to working here. You know, this is not their. Listen, we drive base model trucks. We don't have the Bose ride fucking seats with APUs and all that shit. We don't have all that nice shit here. You know what I'm saying? Fucking, one of the reasons I still work here is because, like, I'm good at adapting to bullshit. And you know what? I was gonna go work for Melton. I changed my mind. I'm not going to. One of the reasons why is because I'm used to all the bullshit here. You know? I know this company. I've been here so long, I know everything they fuck up on. And I'm able to recognize them and counteract their fuck-ups as they happen. I know all the fucking silly bullshit they pull here. You know? And I'm used to it. And I know how things work. You know? So it's like, instead of me going to another company that's going to have a whole bunch of other different bullshit that I'm going to have to figure out and deal with, you know, I'm 6 months in. I only plan to be here for a fucking year. You know, I'm already here, or I'm already in the truck, I'm already used to it. The other reason is because I'm going to become a trainer to make that money, and I can become a trainer here. You know, and I've talked to some guys like, man, you've only been driving for 5 months, 6 months, man, you can't be a trainer, you don't know anything yet. That's fucking bullshit. But listen, like, I get it, you know, I mean, if you're, I think I've said this before too, but it's like, this ain't the hardest fucking job in the world, okay? You know, listen, there's a lot of things I haven't seen, a lot of things I haven't experienced yet, whatever. You don't have to be in this fucking game for 15 years to know the game. You know, this isn't, we're not talking about owner-op here. We're not talking about lease-op. We're talking about company driving. You know? We're just, you know, driving the truck, controlling the truck, securing and tarping loads, handling shippers and receivers, taking care of your paperwork. Ain't a whole lot to it, dude. I'm telling you, I ain't saying I'm the best fucking truck driver in the world, but I'm saying I haven't had too many problems. I still have a perfect CSA score. Okay? I haven't, you know, you know, this is not fucking rocket science. If you can control the truck, you can secure the loads, tarp the loads correctly and safely, you know, and you drive conscientious, I can't fucking say it. Conscientiously, whatever. If you control the truck and shit, it's not the hardest fucking job in the world, you know. Fucking, oh, you've only been doing this 6 months. Just because you've been doing it for 20 fucking years and I've only been doing it 6 months doesn't mean I don't know what in the fuck I'm doing. I'm sorry, I don't know who came up with that, but you know, oh, like fucking, oh, I've been doing, like, don't give yourself so much goddamn credit. Listen, if you're an owner operator, got nothing but respect for you. You own your own truck, you're running your own business. There's a lot that goes into that. Lease up, a lot of transfer of money, paying for your own fuel, you know, dealing with your own bullshit. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about company driving. Company driving. Most of your shit's fucking taken care of for you, you know? So, you just run the freight. Take care of the truck, take care of your loads. You don't have to do this for 15 fucking years to know how to do that. Sorry. It's the way I feel about it, you know? So, do I think it's really fucking wise that you could become a trainer after 3 months or 6 months or whatever it is now? No, but their turnover rate is so high they don't have a fucking choice. I'm goddamn near a fucking senior driver here now. I don't run into too many motherfuckers who've been here longer than me. Every so often, not very much. You know, a lot of dudes coming in and out. I will tell you though, like if you're expecting, don't come into this company expecting all this badass shit. I don't give a fuck how cool they look on the internet. I will tell you, like, you know, but I've dealt with worse shit. I have done harder work, you know. I worked construction for 5 years, and I worked my way up from a $10 an hour helper to a fucking field foreman. Okay, I worked my way up, and I dealt with a lot of bullshit along the way. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I stayed with the same fucking company for almost 5 years. You know, before I finally had a falling out with the owner, and I decided it was time for me to go. You know, I stayed with that company for quite a while. It was a small company too. You know, I don't just. Things get hard, I don't tuck tail and run. I'm not trying to defend this company, I'm just saying I adapt to the bullshit, you know? And if I'm able to squeeze a year out of this company, it's going to look good on my resume. I didn't company hop. I've never company hopped before. I've moved to other companies for better opportunities, but you won't see 28. I'll be turning 26 in about a week, I think. Or on the 20th, I'll be 26. I maybe have like 5 companies on my resume, maybe, you know, since I started working when I was fucking 16. You know, I have not worked that many places. I deal with the bullshit. I make my